There is one thing stronger than all the armies in the world put together, and that is an idea whose time has come. Idea perhaps is the most dangerous and most powerful of all the weapons. Hello and a very warm welcome viewers. You're watching the special presentation of Sansad TV on the journey of startups. India has the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. And if you're an aspiring entrepreneur or even otherwise, this is your destination as we script the novel success stories of startups and analyze the roadblocks and give wings to your dreams of becoming a job giver and not being a job seeker. So today, let's hear the story of startup Onsurity and the founders, Kulin and Yogesh. Onsurity is India's only health tech company providing monthly and comprehensive employee health care to SMEs, MSMEs, startups and growing businesses. Onsurity was founded to empower SMEs and enterprises to solve their major problem, that is, affordable employee health care and benefits. This in turn helps increase employee retention, productivity, attracts talent and enables SMEs to build a happier workforce.
Healthcare is something that needs to be affordable and needs to reach out to the masses. I know there's a gap in reaching out, especially to the middle class, and that's where I think the Onsurity app that they have created will come in, and I'm really glad to be associated. In the last 2 years, the growth that Onsurity has seen and already reached a lot of people around. I think it's wonderful to be associated.
Offering that Onsurity provides and the ability to provide a full stack service for these customers from end-to-end perspective, whether it's through hospital network infrastructure or through quality of benefit services or through quality of healthcare services, is quite commendable.
Onsurity's mission is to help businesses grow with happier and healthier employees. By providing healthcare solutions, the startup wants to bring them at par with larger corporates with no extra burden on their working capital. So Kulin and Yogesh, welcome to Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us. You've come all the way from Bangalore in our studio. Welcome. So Onsurity, India's first and perhaps only monthly employee healthcare subscription platform for SMEs. Tell me, how did this journey begin? How did you think of the idea?
So back in 2017 or 2018, I was running my own consulting firm, and where we were actually providing a lot of consulting services to global clients sitting from India. Again, but the setup was very small. It was for 8 to 10 employees who were working as a team member for me. But generally for them, the health benefits was one of the most important criteria for any of the employees to come and join any setup, be it like a factory, be it like a consulting firm or a software firm. The employees or the team members actually want to see that there is a health benefit needs to be attached to the product, needs to be attached to the company where they are working. But the biggest issue is that no insurance company, no a large healthcare company actually willing to underwrite or willing to provide the product for small setups, or which could be small SMBs. And that is why the idea germinated that how can we create a platform wherein we can make the healthcare for the employees of the SMB more and more affordable for them, so that it would be easier for them to provide the benefits, and also then it becomes easier for them to attract and retain talent. Because for any setup, employees, or you can say team members, are the most important assets that they need to make sure that they, in order to have a successful business for them.
Absolutely. So Kulin, that's how the idea germinated?
Yes, and I think India as a whole, right, everyone wants to go behind large companies, get scale from there. India has 6.3 crores SMEs, right? And that in itself employs close to 33 crore people, right? And hence, this is a problem that needed to be solved. Yeah. People were solving payments problem, people were solving lending problem, but no one was solving the health problem of employees. And these are the class of people who require health benefits, right? And I think that was one of the biggest inspirations, saying that how do we kind of take our product, right, to the millions of SMEs or crores of SMEs out there, right, and help them to be, have an equal playing ground with the large corporates also, because the talent pool remains the same, right? So if you want to, hire from the same talent pool, right, you need to have the same weapons. And Onsurity wanted to be that one big ammunition that an SME can fire to get the best talent on their company.
One big ammunition, but I'd like to know about that one big trigger that, just happened and the two of you quit your jobs. First, tell me, where did you meet, both of you?
Right. So we met at our previous organization where I was responsible for, providing embedded insurance in the digital ecosystem. So, multiple use cases, where you have, say, someone is purchasing a, flight ticket. So can you attach an insurance to that? Someone is taking a cab ride. Can you attach an insurance to that? And that's where the two of us met. I was more on the business side and Yogesh was more on the insurance product side. And that's how we met. And when, I had already quit my job and Yogesh came and said that he's working on an idea like this, right? It was, I thought it's going to be a magical journey because I've already worked with him in the past and it was I really enjoyed working with him. And yes, the problem was something so unique that it just made sense to kind of team up with Yogesh, and the two of us started Onsurity.
So what was that instant trigger?
I think that instant trigger was a call from Yogesh saying, Kulin, I'm going to build something for SMEs. I have a great product, but I need someone who's going to, join with me and, help me to take this to the market. And for me, it was just a thing that, if Yogesh is saying something, right, being one of the world's youngest actually, I knew that this is going to be a product that will be a hit. And that trigger was the one that made me feel that, yes, I will kind of, team up with Yogesh as his co-founder and start the Onsurity journey.
So how did you think of the business model? Because, of course, after quitting your job, did you have that model in place or you worked on it? How did that happen?
So basically, across researching around what should we actually add onto the product, had researched a lot of global markets, had talked to a lot of SMEs, had gone to a couple of markets which are very dense with the SMEs, understand what are the issues that they are facing it around, talk to a lot of insurance carriers, wellness companies, and understand what are their issues in order to provide the benefits to the SMB and their employees, and then put every problem on a drawing board and try to solve what are the things that come around. So, for example, one of the problem that people say, SME or the businesses had said us that we don't want to block our working capital for the 12-month period. So, can you provide us a monthly benefit? Or we don't want this huge paper form to be filled up, given, and then it will take like 30-35 days just to get the product, and needs to a lot of time and bandwidth to manage the product for the employees. How can you give us technology platform which can enable us the ease of management of the product? So these are the things that we try to identify the issues and then brought out what are the solution that we can do it around. Then started talking to different partners, different insurance companies, different wellness companies, convince them to actually work with us and help us to take this particular product to the market.
Fantastic. But getting together and, of course, quitting your jobs, were your family supportive?
Yes, I would say because...
I've touched the raw nerve, have I?
Yeah, I remember this, train journey with my wife. And, I was kind of, talking to her saying that, what, I've already, quit on, my previous company. And Yogesh is saying this. And my wife was like, how are you going to manage things? This is a big risk that you're taking. Why do you want to do this, right? And I think I convinced my wife. I think she had one tear drop down the eye saying that, listen, are you sure you want to do this? Okay. So for me, it's been a fairly, emotional decision making to convince the family. Yes. So yes.
And Yogesh, for you?
For me, not too much because to be very honest, was seeing SME businesses from very early days of my life. Since I was like 12, 13, my father is having a very small SMB setup in Calcutta, Bada Bazaar. So I had seen the business, had seen that how can you exactly bring more employment, create more innovation if you are having your own business. with us, with more own business. And now, because India is changing, you can just reach out to investors and get their funds and then start your shop in India. The India had really changed. Means back in those days, getting a loan from a bank and to start a business or provide a working capital was great difficulty. But over here, if you can build anything for India and effectively can have a great product market fit, yes, there will be investors who will be backing you up. So and using all these examples, convinced my family, convinced my dad that this is the decision that I'm going to take. And yes, he said, okay, no problem.
All right. Some funny incident that you would like to share? Your smile says it all.
Yeah. I think our biggest validation was when Yogesh and I were, at a friend's place, and he was getting a lot of work done. So I nudged Yogesh saying that, why don't you ask the carpenter whether he'll take this for his team or not? Okay. And I think that is something that really validated the idea for us, because the carpenter said, and this is exactly what he said, कि सर आप लोग क्या करते हैं? And we didn't have an answer. He said, हम कुछ ऐसा health में कुछ कर रहे हैं. सर क्या होगा उससे? या आपकी कितनी टीम है? He said 10 जन की टीम है. He said we can give you something for as low as 145 rupees per कारीगर per month. He said, सर पॉसिबल ही नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि 600 रुपया तो मैं उसके चाय नाश्ता का करता हूँ महीने का खर्चा.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And I think that has been one of the biggest validation point, and a funny story that he was practically our first customer.
Fantastic. The carpenter.
The carpenter who's running and he's the SME that who represents India.
Yeah, of course.
And this is the SMEs who are the backbone of India, right? So we felt, yes, we are doing something right. Now fingers crossed, and let's just go to the market.
But Kulin and Yogesh, you also have big partners on board.
Yes.
Now tell me, how did you convince them with the idea? How did you approach them? How did you convince them? And how did they say yes?
Right.
So, for any investor, you actually need to portray how big the target accessible market or TAM, what they say, कि market का opportunity size कितना बड़ा है. अगर market का opportunity size is very big, then even if there are like 5 or 10 different companies come into the same segment, it's still okay. So you actually need to project that what is your vision of the TAM, how exactly you can actually take one particular product, grow it up, and then what would be the next alternate product which can keep coming into the same segment. So that is the two things, that how big the market opportunity can be. Secondly, how much you can actually change the landscape by the technology piece. Because all these investors, startup investors, really want to see that where the technology can play a game changer on the customer journey, user journey, and where the technology can help to bring a lot of efficiencies in the processes.
So this is interesting. Help me understand, how did you amalgamate technology into this idea?
So the way we did this was, we said that, we can't have a standalone health product, right? Only wellness or only insurance, right? We said this needs to be stitched together, because if you look at our own journeys, right? Insurance comes in place when you are in the hospital, right? Wellness comes into place on an everyday basis. So we need to kind of, stitch this together, right? And that was because one of the biggest thought process that any SME who's putting money, or giving money to you, right, is expecting return on investment, because that's the way businessmen think, right? That I want something in return, right? Now, how many people actually go to the hospitals every day to get admitted, right? But at the same time, if you can provide them wellness benefits, so there is something for everyone in the company, right? And that is the way, we said that we will use technology to integrate right from lab tests at home to discounts on medicines, right? Wellness products, health, group health insurance for our members, right? All of this put together under one single sachet of, monthly subscription of healthcare benefits. And that's the way we kind of use technology to make sure that on our mobile app, right, whenever an employee comes, right, they can access all of these things at one shot. So one stop.
So who's your customer? How do you find your customer?
Our customers are, small and medium businesses, right? Today, we obviously do a lot of marketing, digital marketing. At the same time, we work with, fairly large brands, right, to bring the SMEs associated to them onto our platform, right? So a lot of large brands also want to do something for the SMEs, right? Especially MNCs or, large Indian conglomerates. They want to do something for the SMEs.
Because it's a huge segment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And today, today health, especially after COVID, has become, a must-have benefit. And that's where a lot of large conglomerates also are working with us, saying that can you give our SMEs the benefit of your product, right? And they introduce us to their SMEs. So for us, it has been a fairly organic journey. We've not spent too much of money to acquire our customers today.
Okay.
And then obviously, SMEs is a very close-knit community, right?
Of course.
And whenever they talk to each other, right, they say, मैंने Onsurity लिया है, तुम्हें भी लेना चाहिए करके. So the word of mouth is very strong in the SME community.
Of course.
So I think these are the three ways that we kind of always go to the market. And obviously, because we are a technology-first platform, we don't need to have a very large sales team. We are the only platform in India where you can purchase your employee health benefits in less than 5 minutes, which traditionally takes about 30 to 45 days.
Absolutely.
So someone can just come and pick it up like a subscription plan of any OTT platform. Just like that, they can come and pick it up, and just 5 minutes that's what it takes.
Fantastic. That sounds very interesting. But Yogesh, this mustn't have been very, very easy. Tell me, what were the challenges and how did the two of you maneuver your way?
So a couple of challenges, how to make sure, how to get the product aware with the SMBs. So this entire FMCG partnership or the partnerships with the large conglomerate actually helped us to create a lot of awareness about the product, a lot of awareness that why SMB should sponsor the cost for the employees. Because at the ground level, even if the employee does not have a health care, then still the SME had to give advances or a loan to its employees. So had actually explained the entire concept of this return on investments to, let's say, the dealers of, micro dealers of a lot of FMCG brand. So actually from there, the awareness had started, and where we have been able to actually overcome the awareness problem. So that was the major problem on our platform, or where we have looked at.
Right.
Yeah, so I think another one that we are now solving for is the entire experience part of it, right? Everyone says that, how do we get claims, right? And one of the features of our platform is that we have completely done away with paperwork, right? Today also a lot of companies ask for paperwork. They ask you to kind of, attach proofs and send it to you via, mail, right? And I mean snail mail, not even email, right? We are the only platform where on the mobile app, right? You don't need to kind of do anything now. You just need to kind of fill up a few fields, and your claim is kind of, initiated, which we then send it to our insurance partners. So we have done a very deep technology integration also, at our end, to ensure that our customers, right, especially those who are digital savvy, are able to kind of, utilize this. And believe me, today, every Indian is digital savvy thanks to the internet penetration and the smartphone penetration in India.
Of course, absolutely. And of course, the focus of the government as far as the Digital India mission is concerned.
Correct.
So let's talk about the future projections. You plan to reach out to 1 crore people. How do you plan to do that? What is the strategy?
So the strategy is that to reach out to 1 crore people, right, we want to reach out to 1 lakh businesses. We have realized that every SME has, 8 to 10 employees, right? So 1 lakh SMEs is what we want to reach out in the future, right? That is in the next 3 years, right? That if we can reach out to 1 lakh SMEs, we can actually provide health benefits to, 1 crore people out there, right? So that's the way we are thinking about it. And, we are also kind of working with a lot of, BFSI institutions, right, where we are kind of, reaching out to them and saying how they can also take us to their SME customers, because there is no product like this right now, which, such institutions can take it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yogesh, you share the sentiment?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, before we wrap up this edition, a lot of us are thinking about quitting jobs and taking up businesses. What is your message to the budding entrepreneurs?
I will just say that startups looks fancy from the outside, because everyone only talks about the fanciness of the startups.
Yes.
But there's a lot that goes inside.
Yes.
Right? Don't quit the job because it is fancy. Quit the job because you're solving the right problem. Solve for the customer, right? Don't solve for anyone else. You're not solving for your wealth. You're not solving for the investors' returns. You're solving for the customer and customer experience, right? And don't look for fancy titles. I don't think Yogesh or I started because we wanted to become CXOs of companies. We started because we felt that, yes, SMEs are the ones who need help. And that's why we started. Designations don't matter at all in this journey. What matters is that at the end of the day, are you solving a customer problem or not?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, so my advice would be that this is the right time again because the funding environment had been gone down. Now, effectively, you can actually build your product in a very patience manner. You don't have to see around that somebody else will copy you. So, effectively, what Kulin had mentioned, solve for your customer and how. Just imagine how you can actually solve the customer problem using technology as the key component because that will be going to be a very key aspect of your startup or of your business, that how much you can leverage technology everywhere in your business.
Absolutely. Fantastic talking to the two of you, and all the very best for all your future efforts.
And thank you so much for having us out here.
Pleasure having you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Well, viewers, that was another success story on the journey of startups. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye from my side for now.